How's it going on YouTube? Alex here. Welcome back to another video. Today we are bringing you our full custom tactics and game plans. We recently released our 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1 and you guys absolutely loved it and you said, can we have our full custom tactics so we know what to run as and when in the game? And that is exactly what we are bringing you today. So this is the team that we have on screen right now. We had a really good weekend last weekend, hitting rank 1, 20-0, and we got Robertson, Bernardo Silva and Coleman. So I've decided to bring them in. Coleman, yes, on 0 chemistry, but you know, just testing him out, seeing what he is like. Into the custom tactics and game plans. We're going to start off with the 4-2-3-1. Now, this formation for me is one of the best formations to start a game with, or something when you need to see out the game. It is very, very neutral. The reason why we like it, in a sense, is purely because you have the ability to have your centre attacking mid, your right attacking mid and left attacking mid come back and kind of create that very, very deep defensive line. It makes it so difficult to break down. But playing in on that counter attack and just tick attacker in general, you want to work in triangles. And what we mean by that is if you say play the ball into Abraham, laying it back out onto the right hand side to Bernardo Silva, then into Mbappe, and then you play that through ball over the top into your striker. You can even do this out on the right hand side. Let's say you send Bernardo Silva on a run, you can pass it back to your fullback, then into your right defensive mid, and then in behind there. You can do that and that can work really, really well. The tactics that we run for it are, as I said, neutral, because it is a neutral formation. It's a balanced formation, right? So we go with balanced on the defensive style. Now, why do we go with balanced? Well, if you're going to start the game with this formation, you don't want to be on press on heavy touch, press on possession loss. It drains stamina, it makes it more aggressive, and your team can get caught out of shape. We run 48 width and 55 depth. Nothing too crazy there. We don't want a really high line and we don't want massive width or really narrow width. And yes, as always, these work on old gen as well. The advice we always give with old gen is to change the depth a little bit lower if you feel like you're getting caught on the counter. In the offensive style, we run balanced and direct passing. Again, pretty neutral. The one thing I would say with this formation, and just in general on FIFA really, these direct passing, these forward runs, that they tell the players at times to kind of just, go, get on the bike. But what you really need to do is you need to use your L1 button on PlayStation, LB on Xbox when you are triggering runners. That's how to trigger runners. That tells, let's say, if you pick the ball up here with Joe Linton and you want to see Pyatt get in behind, point your left stick in the direction of Pyatt, tap that L1 button, and he will go off the ball. You can do this with obviously a give and go pass as well. There's plenty of different options, but that really, really, really helps. Now the width, it's a little bit wider. We run 61 widths, but again, it's nothing too crazy. The reason why we do this is because the 4-2-3-1, this right attacking mid, left attacking mid, they sit a little bit narrower. They don't sit on the touchline out here. And we want them to kind of be in between. If you imagine this is their back four like this, bang, bang, we want them to be just in between that fullback. That way then they can either drive on the inside or they can go around on the outside if they wish to. Hope you're enjoying my absolute crazy drawing for you. And then players in box is very neutral at 6 and corners 2 and free kicks 1. Now this is the 4-2-2 that we released last week. I won't go too in depth into this because obviously you can watch this as well if you wish to. It's actually very similar to the 4-2-3-1. The only difference is here is that we're running forward runs instead of direct passing. That's because we like the two strikers to play off each other with those forward runs, and we actually do run a narrower width on this. The reason why I do this is because I feel in the 4-2-2, because you don't have that centre attacking mid there to link up the play, when you run the 4-2-2 quite wide, it can be quite difficult to get the ball out here to these guys. So just having them sitting a little bit closer to your strikers makes it makes it easier for you to link up to play and kind of get going. With these two formations, one of the big things that I would say is that you must use these fullbacks on the overlap. All right, you have to have them coming and get involved yourself. If not, you're very much just attacking with these players, and then occasionally you might have a run from deep with obviously your centre defensive mids. But yeah, you definitely kind of need to get them going. One thing I didn't give you, because I'm sure someone will comment, is the instructions on these. On the striker, stay forward. On the centre attacking mids, absolutely nothing. On the right, defensive mid, stay back while attacking, cut passing lanes, cover centre. And the same for the left, centre defensive mid, and then the left back and right back on stay back. And then you're going to see that the 4-2-2 is similar, to be honest. Apart from you're going to have on the strikers balanced, and then on the... Sorry, is that right? No, you meant to have Mbappe, sorry, on getting behind. That's the only change there. But then you're the striker on completely balanced. For your right attacking mid and left attacking mid, you're going to not do anything other than get into the box for cross. Again, we want them kind of moving in onto there. You can do that on the 4-2-3-1 if you want, but I don't feel the need as of much because you do play a bit more centrally in the 4-2-3-1. On the right defensive mid, cut passing lanes, cover centre. This is your more box-to-box, the person that you want getting forward. And then on your left defensive mid, you are going to have stay back while attacking. And then, as usual, both fullbacks on stay back while attacking. Now, this is the formation with these, by the way. So the 4-2-3-1 and 4-2-2, you can start the game with both of them if you want to. They're not aggressive enough that you leave yourself caught out in behind. It's absolutely fine to run both of these at the start. But you can also run this one, the 4-4-2. All of these three formations are formations that are sound to start the game with. They can get you goals and they can win the game and you can keep them with. The only change you would be making to these formations, if you're, say, losing 3-1 in the 60th minute, is putting press on, possession loss on, or maybe constant pressure. And then if you want to, you could put your attacking mids on stay forward. But you really will leave yourself open at the back for them to just pass it around. So that's down to, your personal preference. This is the formation, though, that I played this weekend with all the time. This is what we use throughout the whole of the weekend. I think we changed probably once or twice in a game that was a little bit tight. But other than this is what we ran the whole weekend. 4-4-2. This is what we released on the YouTube channel last week. Balanced 45 width, 65 depth. Balanced direct passing 50, 7, 2, and 2. The 4-4-2 is, for me, one of the easiest formations for people to play. And the reason why it's easy is because you have these two strikers that can play off one another, and you can just look for simple 1-2s. Pass to him, he runs in behind, he lays that pass through. The problem where people go wrong with a 4-4-2 is they go centre back to centre mid to striker, and then they look for these 1-2s all the time. The way you need to work this formation is, here into your fullback, maybe into there, maybe into there. Can you run and drive? Can you beat that man? Can you get to the byline? If not, work it back, work it over, work it over. And basically work it like this. So you go left, right, and you're going to zigzag across the pitch. And then when you get onto the edge of the box, instead of going that one extra pass over, you might go back to the way you came. But that is kind of the essence of the 4-4-2. You really, really do need to use it in that way, and you'll have that success with it if you do it like that. So those are the tactics there for you. Again, I won't go into it in too much detail because if you want a more in-depth review, you can watch the YouTube video from last week. So for your strikers, you want one on stay forward and getting behind, and you want one on stay forward. Your choice, whether you want to do it on the big man on getting behind or the quicker man. I normally tend to have it on the quicker man, so Mbappe here would be on that. I switched Abraham from the right-hand side striker to the left-hand side because I realised I was attacking more down the right, and I want, him in the box for the cross rather than being, close to that crosser. Left mid, right mid, come back on defense. Yes, they are going to come back. The reason for this is the 4-4-2 starts in 2 banks to 4, right? You want this player coming back and stopping the byline drive from the opponent. Don't leave your fullbacks isolated with that. Bring them back in and make it easier for your fullback to defend. And another way that you can help yourself defend is if you go down and then down on the down and up, I think it is, my bad. Down and up on the D-pad, you can do striker drop back. And what this will do is one of these strikers will drop back in defense when the ball is on their side. So if the ball's out here, Mbappe will come back and you can press their centre defensive mid with your striker rather than pulling out your centre mid. And it's the same, obviously, on that left-hand side. We do go for cut inside here on the left mid and the right mid. This basically just means that you are available to run on the inside and look for through balls and look off the striker. But if you manually want to run round the outside and I'm not going to spit the bars, don't worry, round the outside. Yeah, I am. Go round the outside and then go to the byline. You can do that as well and you can cross. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. Cut inside just means that they drift in that little bit more. For both of your centre defence, you're going to go on stay back while attacking and cover centre. 4-4-2 is very good at hitting on the counter-attack and being quite direct. If you want your centre mids to get involved, manually bring them in. Manually get them involved. Same with your fullbacks. They are on stay back, but they are on overlap. These are specifically on overlap because your left mid and right mid are on cut inside. That is the specific reason for that. Okay, that's that. Now, this is a tactic that I've been testing, trialing, and not liking all that much, to be honest. The 5-4-1 right now is very popular in pro play at a high level. This is my advice to you if you're thinking about playing the 5-4-1. Unless you are a very serious FIFA player or you're competing at the top level or whatever, or you're wanting to get there, I'd probably recommend not using this. And the reason why I'd say don't use this 5-4-1 is it is so good defensively. It's so difficult to break down. Most players don't use their wing backs correctly in the 5 at the back. They don't wait for them to get up the pitch and switch the play and constantly look to grind them out. And having that one striker by itself can get a little bit isolated. So you do need good hold-up play, good dribbling, you know, a good way to link up the team. I would also say it's pretty boring. You can get results with other formations and have more fun with it. If you are here to just get wins, you don't care about having fun, then you do you. But for me, I actually think if you want to play a 5 at the back, something like maybe the 5-2-1-2 can be a little bit more fun and you can get kind of the same results. All right, so your choice there, but I'll talk you through it anyway because obviously, yes, it's the in thing at the minute and every man and their dog is playing it. So those are the defensive styles that I run: 45 width, 65 depth, balance, fast build up, direct passing, 57. I want the fast build up because I want my wing backs to get up the pitch quickly. I don't want them dawdling. I want them to get up. I want them to be available for the switch as and where I can. 6 players in box, 1 corners, and 1 free kick. So nothing too outrageous there. Getting behind on the striker, you can test and trial this. I tried stay forward. I've tried balance. I've tried getting behind. Getting behind works if you want to try and hit on that counter, but then obviously you don't ever really have the option to just play into feet. But it's however you want to do it. I have a big striker. Abraham can work on that quite well, but then other times as well, you do want to just dink it in over the press and into them. Left mid, right mid, come back on defense, cut inside, and get in behind. A little bit miserable, I know, but the whole idea with this is to make it so difficult for your opponent to score goals, and that does exactly that. I do have both my CMs on balance and cover center. Why? It's already pretty negative as it is. I kind of want, you know, these guys lingering forward if they can. It does leave you more open to the counter, but I'm willing to have one of my center backs step up and kind of fill in for them. You know, if they beat the press and they beat the midfield, you know, my central centre back will step up and try and take that ball away. And then this is the big thing, obviously, for the 5 at the back, which you really have to use and get right. The right wing back and left wing back have to be on join the attack and overlap for them to have that success. And the idea being is that basically, you know, these will sit in a little bit more narrower, closer to the striker. This left back and right back will sit out here. If you have the ball here with Payet, you're going to switch the ball out to the left-hand side, see if you can drive towards the byline, see if you can find those cutback goals. And that is the 5 at the back, pretty much to a T. Okay, so those are all of the tactics. And how would I play them? As I said, I use all of these tactics as a way of just... They're what I'm comfortable with, most comfortable with. I don't have the 4-3-2-1 in here at the minute. And then if I'm just losing a game and I feel like I need to change things, then I'll just go press on possession loss. I might tweak a couple of the tactics and go higher on the depth. But there really isn't like a scenario where I'm going, okay, I'm 3-0 down. I'm going to move to a 3-5-2 maybe like I used to. You know what? I will just tinker some of these. Like the 4-2-2 with your instructions on stay forward on all of these guys. If you can beat that press and get out to them, it is lethal, you know, kind of on that counter attack. So multiple different ways you can play these formations, but that is what, you know, we're running at the minute and how we have all of our tactics set up. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. And yeah, thank you for watching. If you want to catch the 4-4-2, you can do that. There'll be a box here. Click on that box and it'll take you over to it.